Hi and welcome back to Matthew's Travels and Tips, and in today's video we are going to talk about the passport card. Now the first question many will ask is, what is a passport card? So a passport card is a limited travel document issued by the United States federal government in the size of a license or a credit card. Now only US citizens can be issued a US passport card by the US Department of State, and once they're issued, this card can be used as a citizenship document, proof of ID, and it's also a Real ID compliant document if you remember our last video about the Real ID Act. And when you're issued a passport card, the passport card will allow you to travel by air domestically, meaning you can travel on planes anywhere within the United States using this card as a form of identification, and you can use it to enter or exit the US via land and sea between members of what's called the WHTI, or the Western Hemisphere Travel Initiative. Now the Western Hemisphere Travel Initiative is basically something that was put in place by the Department of State and the Department of Homeland Security to implement certain security measures for anyone entering the United States. So US citizens and foreign nationals alike will have to present a passport and or other acceptable documents that will denote identity and citizenship before they are allowed entrance back into the United States. You cannot use the passport card for any form of international air travel, meaning if you have an international flight, you cannot use that passport card as your travel document. You'll need a passport book for that. But if you're traveling on a cruise or you're driving into Mexico or Canada, you can use the passport card for that as that document. But be wary if you're traveling on a cruise, as the card can only be used to enter into countries that are members of the WHTI. So always be aware of that, as there are a few countries within the Caribbean that are not members of the WHTI, and you will not be able to use the passport card if the cruise is docking there. Okay, and so one may ask, how do you apply for a passport card? Now applying for a passport card is the same exact procedure as applying for a passport book. As we covered in one of our previous videos, and I'll include the link in the description below, if you're applying for a new passport card, you simply apply using the DS11 application, which is a new passport application, and go through the new passport process and you have to select that you're applying for a passport card on that government application form. If you already possess a passport book and you want to get a card in addition, you will have to go through the renewal process, which is using the DS82 application. I'll also leave a link in the description below on how to complete the DS82 application. And once you're completing that application, you select that you want to apply for a passport book at the end of that application. The cost for applying for a passport card is much less than applying for a passport book. So if you're a new applicant, anybody applying for a new passport, whether it's for a passport book or passport card, has to pay a one-time $35 acceptance agent fee. So if you're okay with waiting up to 4 to 6 weeks for the passport card, it'll cost $30 for adults and $15 for a child. If you need it done in 2 to 3 weeks, it's $90 for an adult and $75 for a child. But be wary of the $35 acceptance agent fee that's on top of those costs. If you're a renewal applicant, meaning you already have a passport book and you want to get the card, you don't have to pay the $35 acceptance agent fee. It's only simply $30 for adults, $15 for child, and $90 for adults, $75 for a child if you're expediting. Okay, so in conclusion, people often ask me, is the passport card really worth it? In my opinion, it really isn't. If you're applying for a passport book and you have the book does everything that the card does, but the passport card does not do everything that the book does. It's way too limited for what it may cost, as if you don't do a lot of domestic traveling, you don't go into Canada or Mexico by car a lot, it really has no purpose to you. However, if you have a passport book, you can use that at any time. Once it's valid, you can go on any international flight, go on any domestic flights, travel by car or sea or flight into Canada or Mexico. So me personally, I do not believe in the passport card. I don't think it's worth me spending money on it. However, it does make sense for a lot of people as well. If you're a truck driver or you work on the border of Mexico or Canada and you go into that country a lot by car, then yeah, definitely the passport card makes sense for you. But if you don't do that or you have no reason that you enter these countries often, then no, I don't think it's worth it. I think it just makes sense to apply for a passport book. But thank you for watching. If you have any questions about the passport card, please feel free to send me an email or a comment in the comment below, and I'll be able to answer any of those questions as soon as possible. And thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe and like this video as well. Thank you.